What better way to usher in fall than with this pull-apart pumpkin monkey bread recipe? In the mixer, I'm going to start with a 1/4 cup warm water, a 1/4 cup of warm milk, 1½ teaspoons yeast, and I'm going to allow this to set up for 10 minutes to proof. You'll know it's proofed correctly if your solution is foamy. If it hasn't done so, you've killed your yeast and you need to start all over again. Once the yeast has proofed, I will add in a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, followed by 1 beaten egg. To that, I will add a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and an 1/8 teaspoon of nutmeg, 2 tablespoons of unsalted melted butter that I have allowed to cool, 1 cup of pumpkin puree, I'm going to quickly mix all those ingredients together before slowly adding in 3 1/3 cups of bread flour. I'm going to mix the dough for about 4 to 5 minutes until the dough is pulling away from the sides. Once the dough is finished mixing, I'm going to remove the dough hook, shape our dough into a ball, and I'm going to take some cooking spray and spray the bowl and the dough as well, and cover it and leave it to rise for an hour. Waiting for the dough to rise, I'm going to go ahead and preheat the oven to 350 degrees and spray our bundt pan that we'll be using to make our monkey bread. An hour has passed. I take the dough onto a countertop and I'm going to start cutting it into pieces to assemble the monkey bread. I set up a coating station. In one bowl I've got our melted butter, in the other I've got our sugar and cinnamon. I'm going to roll all of our pieces in the butter and then over to our sugar mixture and then line our pan. Line the pan until you run out, and if you have any excess sugar or butter mixture afterward, just pour it over the top. We're going to cover our bundt pan and let this rise for 1 more hour before we go to the oven. Once the second rise has completed, this is going to go into the oven for 35 to 45 minutes. Once baking has completed, we're going to remove our monkey bread and we're going to turn it out onto a surface to allow it to cool so we can get started on our sea salt caramel drizzle. Now, the sea salt caramel drizzle is remarkably easy to make. On a medium setting on your stove, you're going to add a 1/2 cup of unsalted butter, 1 cup brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice, and a 1/4 cup of heavy whipping cream. We're going to melt that down on that medium setting. Once we've got it pretty much melted down, we're going to bring it to a low boil. Once we've reached that low boil, we're going to bring it down to a simmer for 3 to 4 minutes. And once that 3 to 4 minutes has elapsed, we're going to remove it from the heat and add a 1/4 teaspoon of our maple extract. You're going to want your drizzle to have that shimmery, glossy look. Slowly pour your cooled drizzle over the top of your cooled monkey bread. And there you have it, a hauntingly sweet and easy pumpkin monkey bread. I hope y'all enjoy.